piece, but I would argue this, Reese. Like, you need to get the ground game going. For this offense to be successful, they need a physical tone setter, and he can be that, sometimes up, sometimes down. They need that consistently, Jesse.
They need him to show up when it matters the most, and there's going to be times in this game like we've seen throughout his career when the defense wants to take away wide receivers or players on the perimeter, and that's when this guy has to show up and shine. He's got vision, he's got cutting ability, he's got speed, but that's got to be on display in this game.
Third down conversion's always a huge stat, and they've got a third and long from the 27. Breaks the tackle. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker. The Mustangs decide to hunt it away. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. Signals for the fair catch, and that's where they'll put it in play just outside the 20. The Commodores' offense will have its first possession of the game. And, David, they've got a tight end who might not be a superstar, but he always seems to be in the right place, always ready to be a safety valve for this quarterback.
No, and this guy dictates to the defense. It's so nice to be able to move him around. He's the chess piece. He's the playmaker on offense that can do a lot of things. And if they're going to be successful, the big tight end's going to be the reason why.
And he's a very reliable target, too. We've seen him make some really tough catches and some big moments for this offense. He's going to have to do that in this game today. The defense is keying on him. They know that's where the quarterback's eyes are going to be going early and often in this game, so the tight end's got to step up.
And he finally missed one, right? I mean, he's been pretty hot, right? 5 passes in a row. He's been moving the ball around, different platforms, different receivers. Just done a really good job spreading the ball around, and he's human. He finally missed.
They'll send the back in motion. On third and long, he has to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. The Commodores will try to pin them back with the punt. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. He'll field the punt and look for room. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. The give to the tailback. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative. But they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They'll leave it with him. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. And the Mustangs will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. The give from the gun. Spins away from the defender. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. And the Commodores in the hurry-up.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at it. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The Commodores in a good spot here with second and short.
Get it together.
He's got it again. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Gets the back moving. Looking to throw on third. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. And the Commodores will call on their punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Catches it at the 30. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3 and out the last time they had the ball. They'll pick up 4, second and 6 coming.
And I kind of how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They go to the ground. And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles. And those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Back to the ground with the running back. They'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45.
It was so important this offense was able to find a way to get in the rhythm, and the running game is now helping that. 2 straight punts on their previous 2 drives. This drive, though, they're having a little bit more success. Big reason why is this running back. He's been able to find some creases to run through, and it's really helping out this offense.
Back up now. Here's 2nd and long. Tight end now in motion. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. Got the first down and more. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
Looking for the score. Touchdown, SMU. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And they cap off the drive with a touchdown throwing the football. On the last play, they got the explosive. They get right back to the line of scrimmage and dial up another one. Great work by the quarterback and his target being on the same page. These last 2 plays, throwing the football, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Commodores racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
They bring it down, but the big play will move the sticks. Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at him. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
They just have not been able to get this guy going. They've thrown it to him over and over again here in the 1st quarter, and QB and him just not able to link up. The defense knew that was where this guy was going to be looking, but these 2, they've got to find a way to get on the same page.
And the Commodores come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. He's got 1st down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
To the air on 1st down. And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. The RPO, fire complete to the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And what a nice play by the DB. You have to understand, that wide receiver gets that ball that quick. It's tough to get him on the ground. Nice job getting a hold of him, getting him on the ground for no gain.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. Commodores will punt this one away. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. They'll try the run. Makes his man miss. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. It out to the 42-yard line.
Really nice resiliency by the running back. Sometimes you just got to be able to turn the page, right? You have a tackle for loss the previous play, they give it right back to you, and you make the defense pay. Good vision, good athleticism.
Fires to the tight end. A big play, gets it into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 44.
Well, you know who's got to love this offense picking up so many first downs? It's their own defense. David, I know you love playing on teams with great offenses.
Rushes on him. And the Heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Goodness, that happened fast. He was in the backfield before the ball was even snapped.
Man, adrenaline pumping, heart beating a little faster. There is some intensity on that one. They'll go right back to the run. He's brought down at the 44-yard line, and the defense making a play on third down. The Mustangs will line up to punt it away. And they can't get on top of it to down it, so that ball will come out to the 20. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. They've gotten very little done on their first 3 possessions, hoping this one will be more productive. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Fires to the big zone. He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball to 33. And the Commodores will hustle to the line.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
Quickly to the tight end. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Let's see what they've got on second down. Off play action. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Well, if you're going to hit that in route against zone coverage, you're going to have to play with better timing. Quarterback needs to anticipate that throw a little bit more. Get it out soon.
Couldn't find his man last time. That leaves him with a 3rd and 6. Finds a tight end. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. The Commodores are on the move.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route.
Breaks into the open. Breaks it past the mark. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Illegal block on the back. Offense.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. First down here for the offense. They'll go to the air. to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. In their vision of that play, someone would run free after making an easy catch. There was nowhere to run and nowhere to go except down.
Probably looked really good when they drew that one up on the board this week in practice, but obviously a lot more difficult to go out and execute. Give the defense credit. Great stop.
And a decent game there before the defense makes the stop. Off the play fake. Deal off one deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. And the Commodores will send out the punt unit. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Not going to take a chance to grab that one as it bounces out of bounds. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
Oh, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32. They'll go right back to it. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge game. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Well, you see them there taking the shot. I think the thought process is look, we've had so much success early in this game running the football. Let's see if we can now take advantage of the defense throwing the ball over their heads. They're going to be expecting run. Safeties and linebackers are all going to be playing downhill trying to stop that. If we get the one-on-one opportunities to the outside, we have got to take shots. That one fell incomplete. They should keep trying this as the game goes on.
You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on 2nd down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks in a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a 3rd down.
He's knocked out of bounds at the 42. Solid pickup on that one.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Don't overthink it, right? Just hand it off, get the 1st down, new set of downs, let's go.
And the Mustangs have it with a 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
I love when you start bringing linebackers up near the line of scrimmage and you start sending them because those guys have serious speed. They can come catch anybody up and down the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, you could tell, he had a good clue what was going on. He knew it was a run play, fired, pulled the trigger, came downhill, and attacked the running back.
Takes this handoff and headed to the right.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough. How important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
There he goes. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a 1st at the 29.
Well, the offense is in a really nice rhythm right now. It seems like no matter what they're dialing up, they're getting positive yards, and it just feels so good as a play caller when you know on 1st down you can get yards like that turning around and handing.
Yeah, and on the other side, you're scratching your head going, what the heck can I do here? You got to find something. The defense has got to find a way to create some momentum. Whatever they're doing right now, it's not working. So you got to keep going through that play sheet and maybe find something a little bit different that can give this offense something to think about.
Lost yardage on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. They're setting up the screen. They'll make the stop, but not before they use the screen beautifully and pick up the 1st down. The Mustangs moving quickly to the line. They're going to test the right side with this one. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. The offense will quickly use a timeout.
Make a play, boys! Let's go! 2-1, boys. Here we go.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Off the boot, looking for his man. Extending the play. He just threw that one away. Nobody was getting open. He had to live to find another play in the red zone. It'll be third down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. He couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. Quick handoff. Headed to the end zone. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Man, that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He's not going to make it to the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 17. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime, too, Vandy. I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone. Be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
That looks like a real simple play by the wide receiver, but give him a ton of credit. That was an excellent route. He never telegraphed that he was breaking to the outside. Kept his eyes downfield, so when he cuts, he's able to get maximum separation from the defender, and that's why that play is successful.
Got his man. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Boys, you never quite know what to expect there in Nashville, and we've had a lively first half. And how can we begin our analysis of that first half without singing the praises of one of the elite backs in football? Racking up huge numbers on the ground, even throwing the occasional block. This kid is the total package. And if this defense doesn't adjust its strategy, he could be headed towards a career day.
He'll bring it out. It's Tanner. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the third quarter.
Down 2 possessions, the coaching staff met in at halftime, and they've probably scripted this opening drive, just like they do at the start of the game. They really got an idea of
How in the world did the offense retain possession? Commodores want to crank the tempo.
Go home! Let's go! Let's show what we are made of, offense!
From the gun, give on the inside. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here.
And you're seeing the offense now mix up the tempos. After a successful run, they're now going great.
And he's down to the 41. That's a first down. And the Commodores come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. Man, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw
Brought down just short of the sticks on the screen pass. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chain. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. The Commodores kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work.
great job by the offense, understanding where the sticks are. And look, they got the first down, and they're like, all right, let's crank this tempo up now. We got first down. Let's go fast.
Play action on first down. Makes the catch. It's Coleman. the defense, it's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Here's an opportunity for this offense in search of its first touchdown. It's 1st and 10. The give to the back. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. Wants to go up top. Here's a hit. Quarterback extends the play. So close to that end zone, he can almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
Can't paint the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Great awareness by that defender that time. Seeing the ball thrown, getting his big paw, knocking it down, and now you set up 2nd down.
Got nothing last time. Now 2nd and goal from the 3. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Commodores. You know what? The first one lived 969 years. He was born and died in the amount of time it took him to walk it down the field and score that touchdown.
That's just so frustrating. Play after play after play. You line up, you try to do your assignment, and you fail, and they cap it off with a touchdown. Oh, Methuselah.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. They'll give it to the back. Turning it on. He's all the way across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 41 in the running game, getting it done. Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. To the ground. He's got it again. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run all.
Breaks away wild. And he will finally go out of bounds after another big gain, and they are absolutely gashing them with this running game. And the Mustangs just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. To the ground with the back. He'll be down at the 4-yard line after that terrific run.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the 3rd quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on field.
And the D denied him on 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, SMU.
And this running back is so dangerous down close to the end zone. He's got wiggle, he's got great vision and burst, and he showed all of those attributes right there.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass.
knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
Third down play from the gun. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the play. So important to convert these third downs, and they get it done. They'll have it at the 42. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him, and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Wants to throw again. And the deflection by the defense brings out fourth down.
Well, you can see the mindset of this offense changing quickly. We're in the third quarter. They're down on the scoreboard. They've got to get aggressive. They've got to throw the ball if they want a chance to win this game. But the defense knows it. It's going to be really hard for this quarterback now. The windows are going to be small like it was that time, throwing the incompletion.
And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. The give to the back. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Mustangs, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Pressure coming. Finds his tight end. He just held it poorly, and it's a fumble. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it.
Nice heads-up play by the defense to jump on that ball after it got popped out.
First snap of this drive will come from their own 32. Hand off from the gun. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33. And the Commodores want to move quickly.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry, that defense has to be ready.
You're trying to get the ball to running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Good is down in the backfield. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. The Commodores send out the punt unit. They'll be forced to kick for the 6th time tonight. Makes a nice grab at the 25. He gets a block. Makes the tackle. Really strong, disciplined job, and now we have 1 period to play. That's the end of the period, and SMU has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. One more quarter to go, and it looks as if we are ready to play. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. Running back searching for a hole. Got enough for the first down and wants more. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. They'll go to the ground. Makes one man miss. Finds a one to the right. Inside the... And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Huge play. It's so nice to have plays like this. You hand it to him, he can do the rest. Look at the speed, look at the elusiveness, get into the end zone. Nice run.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Just unloaded on that kickoff. Don't have to worry about a return on a kick like that. He'll bring it out to the 25. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. They went 3 and out the last time they had it, and at this point of the game, you just can't afford many of those. The defense calls the timeout. Their second of the day as they try to get their act together. Ready to fire from the pistol.
Come on, put 6 on the board, fellas.
Off the play fake on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. And the Commodores come to the line in the hurry up.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over, and there's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short, the clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
They'll go to the air on 3rd and short. Here comes the heat. It's complete to the left. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
The Commodores will line it up on 1st and 10. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it, but the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game. Well, the defense really stepped up in this game. They knew they had to slow down this passing attack. They knew they had some matchups they were going to have to win one-on-one. They've been able to do that, and as a result, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards in this game.
They'll run play action. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it. The give to the back. Breaks into the open.
Well, that's called paying off good field position. You've got the lead here late in the game. You've got the ball back. You're on your opponent's side of the 50, and on your very first play, you break off a long run. This defense right now is playing on their heels late.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He'll try it again. Nice pick up on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down.
And this is exactly what you want to do when you're on offense. You have the lead, you want to chew the clock, keep the ball on the ground, keep that thing just ticking, Palmer.
They're just imposing their will, Dave, and that's something that we've seen, I think, all game. Up front, they've been the more physical team. They're the ones that's getting push and that's getting movement, and it's carrying over all the way here deep into the 4th quarter.
Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. And he'll get this one back to the line of scrimmage, but no farther than that.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on 3rd down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing, especially at the quarterback position. And
into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, SMU.
after that amazing performance in week one, this offense wasn't content. They felt like they left some plays out on the field, even though they were able to get that win. I feel like they've taken another step. They've raised their intensity level. They've raised their execution. This team is going to be a contender this year. You can just feel it.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the 4th down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating because you think you might get points, and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some goal.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
Lining up from the 34 on 1st down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. And the Commodores can really attack on this 2nd and short. Power football with the run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. The Commodores are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Motion from the wideout. Now the play fake. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
You've got to love what you're seeing if you're the head coach of this team, because your defense is simply not resting on their laurels, and they're playing until there's zeros on the clock. They've got a massive lead. We're late in the 4th quarter, and they're still getting sacks.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure it to 1st down.
Hey, I got to be honest. I don't know if the defense was expecting that type of throw on 4th down. It looked like they were all huddled close to the line of scrimmage, looking for something in the...
There he goes. They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains. And the Commodores back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Looking to throw on 1st down. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions.
That'll be enough for the 1st down as they mark down at the 31-yard line. The Commodores pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Looking to throw on 1st down.
You just got the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. They got to attack the sideline. They got to throw.
The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Wants to go up top. And it's picked off at the goal line. That's a way to make a stand. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it. They won the game today. That's 2 in a row. If they win the next one, it's